Another red line, captain on 0, bench guy on 9. Friends in the group chat, talking like kings. I'm stuck in the basement, breaking my screen. Delete the app before it breaks me first. Every trade I tap just makes it worse. I swear I'm done. I swear I'm gonna snap. If one more player tags his calf, I'll delete the.
Yes, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Teamless Tuesday is here. Welcome to NRL Off the Bench SC podcast. I'm here as usual with the one and only Rossco, the bearer of all the good news. How you going there, Rossco?
I don't know if we're going to be the bearer of good news today, and I think a lot of people will be doing exactly what that last bit of that song says, going to delete the app because, as we discussed on our round wrap last night, there is some serious carnage this round, and it just got worse today. So I think there's a lot to go through. We'll obviously go through the ins and outs, and then we'll have a look at the trade in and trade outs because there's a fair bit to go over, to be honest with you. So we'll try and get through it as quickly as we can, but we also want to make sure we get everything out to you guys too, and we don't miss anything.
Yes, no, there is a little bit there. I've sort of been running my eye very quickly over it, but I'm just quickly just letting people know that we are live. So if you do come in, do drop us a question. We love the involvement, and we love to see lots of people come around. All right, so now where are we up to? Should we just jump straight into it?
Yeah, go straight into it. Yeah, let's do it. Well, we can speak about the carnage with each game, so that's fine.
All right. Well, of course, the first game up is going to be my beloved Sea Eagles. There it is on the screen. Look at it. The Sea Eagles are exactly as per, I think, the last game named, except that Brendan Wakeham joins the bench. I don't know if that's any better or worse than Luke Brooks.
I think he was on their last game. He took minutes off Simpkins.
Okay.
Yeah. Walker. Yeah.
Well, young Paul Bryan is still named on the interchange. And believe it or not, Joey Walsh is way back in the reserves. So despite the fact I heard he actually blitzed it in New South Wales Cup last week. For the Roosters, Billy Smith comes back into the centres. Otherwise, all unchanged in the back line. In the front line, Egan Butcher has the number 13, which I think he might have had last time around, keeping Connor Watson in the 14, Blake Steve in the 15 for Keki. Rounds out the number 17. No changes really there. It's a very boring-looking team list, that first one, Ross.
Yeah, it is. There's not really much to talk about here at all, so I think we'll just move on to the next game, eh?
Okay.
Well, unless there's any players that you want to talk about, I mean, I guess we should probably speak about a couple. Obviously, Sam Walker's probably a sell. I don't know. It might be a bit late now that he's leaked a lot of cash. I don't mind Turbo as a buy this week either for those that are still looking to offload Kalen Ponga as well. But and obviously the other one to keep an eye on, he'll be playing his second game as well, be Reece Robson as well as another one to keep an eye on to see how he goes in this game for those that are still looking to offload Reed Marnie or Bailey Haywood out of their team.
Yeah, well, Reece Robson will get his cash up next week, but Turbo gets his cash up this week. So if you want to jump on Turbo, it's looking like he's projected that he is going to go up in price somewhat. So you're definitely not going to be losing out. Tough matchup, though. So we'll see how they go.
Before we move on to the next game, Brad, I want to see you try and pronounce the name of number 22 for the Manly side.
I can't pronounce that. Dijazare Pervasi.
No, that's not bad effort. No, not bad.
I think that's about the best I'm going to do. I hope I've done you justice there, mate. I hope I've done you justice. All right, I'll let you go through the next one. It's got your mob in it.
Yeah, no worries. So Warriors against the Tigers, massive in for the Warriors. Despite the fact that he was talk about that he wasn't going to be back to round 6, Luke Metcalf's been named to return early from his ACL injury. CNK's back from concussion. Pompey's back from family reasons. Tuapiki drops to the reserves. And Leka Halasima drops back to the back row. Morgan Gannon's obviously out with his concussion. And Harris Tavita's been named on the 6-man bench as he returns from concussion. For the Tigers, Doc Madden will take over at number 6 from Jerome Luai. Adam Dewey has been named despite his injury. I'm very surprised by that he has been named. I thought they might have given him a rest for the week, but they haven't. And then Bunty Afoa and Tavana join the interchange bench, and Latu Fainu is named amongst the returns as he comes back from a shoulder injury, a shoulder reconstruction that he actually had. So I guess the talking point we should have here, Brady, is obviously Tanner Boyd's very highly traded in again this week. We had a bit of a chat about him yesterday, but I think with the injection of Luke Metcalf, I think that tells me that I think he's an avoid. Would you probably agree on that basis?
Oh, I think I'd agree at the 700,000 that you have to pay out to get into Tanner Boyd.
Yeah.
But he's going to make a little bit of money. Like, you got to remember, there's not much more room there left for him to make. What can he go up? Maybe an extra 100,000, but if you're lucky. And if you're just getting him for the cash, well, there's not quite enough cash there for me to make. I like him making a bit more than that. A trade's worth about 150,000 to me.
Yeah, especially too with their draw, because I was just pulling it up now, but I know after they play the Tigers, they've got a pretty tough run. So there could be a case where if you were to bring in Boyd this week, you might only get maybe 1 or 2 price rises out of him, and then you're going to have to offload him. So you're probably going to want to go to a Cleary or a Hines. I think, if you got on him last week, well done. I think, that was probably the week to trade him in. But I certainly wouldn't be trading him in this week, though.
I tell you what, just a quick shout out. Bunty Afoa in the number 18 again. The forwards must be doing a hell of a job for Benji there at the Tigers, because
they've done a pretty good job. Even Royce Hunt's only coming in for 20-minute stints, but he's doing a job as well. Alex Twell's been fantastic. All our packs done a really good job. They really have. So to keep Bunty Afoa out, who we bought obviously over from the Warriors as well. I mean, there's some pretty big names there not playing. Even Tony Chicago's all right too as well. But it's going to be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Now I think Jackson Ford's about the most traded in player running around at the moment in the 10. Still has the Mitch Barnett. It'd be interesting to see this week if he loses a few minutes.
Yeah.
It all depends upon head knocks. I mean, they seem to have an Aaron Clark or a Laban or somebody gets a head knock every week in New Zealand. I think they're crazy. They don't care. Yeah. So there's always a replacement, and then he seems to be the one that gets the full 80 minutes in. So it's certainly been working for him, and he's not a bad trade at all. So if he's good, he is a good trade.
Yeah.
All right. So the Broncos and Dolphins. Now I'll let you run with this one because we've got big breaking news, as you said.
Yeah. So Adam Reynolds is back on deck after missing the Storm game with a rib injury. Payne Haas is sidelined with a shoulder injury. Ben Hunt slides back to the 14 role. Xavier Wilson start at prop in place of Payne Haas. Brendan Peter-Crew will take the edge spot from Willison. Shibasaki's again been named on the interchange bench, which he didn't play any minutes last week, with the Broncos only playing 15 players. For the Dolphins, Tom Flegler's been named on the bench to return from his rib injury, which is probably big for a lot of people, including myself. With Payne Haas out, I'm actually going to be forced to play him, which is obviously not ideal. And Francis Molo comes onto the interchange bench as he returns from suspension. But obviously the big news is Payne Haas. I mean, as we said on the show last night, Brad, there's already so much carnage with the Couchman brothers and Trey Mooney and Tom Chester. You know, a lot of sides are stacked up with South players. This is just massive news, really, isn't it? I mean, I think there's going to be some teams out there that are probably only going to have one front rower.
Yeah, there certainly will. This will stretch teams. People will be reaching for their boosts everywhere. I can see people chewing up a lot of trades this weekend. Quite interesting. Their bench: Ben Tolte, Orbelix, Tawar, and Jaden Hunt. Almost 3 prop forwards there on that bench there, Ross.
Yeah.
Not that you would pay any money for them. You don't go doing it crazy like that.
No. You couldn't touch any of them. But obviously the one that we probably need to speak about, I mean, because we don't really need to go through all the ins and outs of the trade and trade outs, but obviously Reece Walsh, very popular buy this week. The Broncos have a really good run. They go Dolphins, I think then they go Cowboys, they go Titans, and then they go the Tigers. That's a pretty good run. And I don't know. The Dolphins played really well last week, so I don't think this will be a massive score. But the way Dolphins played last week against the Sharks, this could be a cracking game, I reckon, Brad. But I just want to have a piece of that Reece Walsh for that run in particular.
Oh, look, the Battle of Brisbane, it's always going to be a fantastic one. I mean, I'm not a Herbie owner, and I'd love to have Herbie for this game.
Yeah.
Coming up against that edge of the Broncos there. So, but they, you know, I honestly think the forwards look better for the Dolphins and then for Brisbane, but we'll see. Yeah,
it's a bit mixed up. I mean, Felice Kafusi, he's a bit of a plighter. Morgan Knowles has been okay for them, but yeah, certainly, you know, Willison, Piakora, Ricky probably had his best game in a long time, as we saw last week as well. But yeah, it's certainly a big loss for them missing Payne Haas. That's just massive for them. It really is.
If you want Finaweki, this will probably be your last week to
Yep.
get him. He is still a buy this week.
Yep.
But from about next week onwards or the week after, his price will plateau somewhere around about there. So Finaweki, if you do want him, he's a jump on now. As I said, it's about your last chance before he sort of hits that ceiling. All right, the Bulldogs and the Knights. By the way, I'm looking at these for the first time, people. So don't. You're getting a live reaction to here, and there's virtually nothing to say about the Bulldogs backline except Anari Tuala is still managing to keep out poor old Bronson Zeri. So Anari Tuala, he looks like he's set in stone there. Expect Stephen Crichton to have an absolutely monster game here. Down into the forwards, exactly the same as they have been running. No change there, and no real change in their bench either. Fletcher Hunt retains the number 1 position. He is still a buy, by the way. This week you can go buy him. Only about 300 and something, I think, thousand. So not a bad option if you're after a cheapie. And I think this is his 3rd game this week coming up. So as far as the rest of the back line goes, it's exactly the same, except for one. Fletcher Sharp has been named. God, how much do you reckon that could actually happen, or do you reckon that could be a laid out, Ross?
Oh, I don't know. There was a lot of talk. I think it was Barry Tui posted that I think he said that he was going to miss another game. So, look, he was named last week and he was ruled out after the team. So, yeah, look, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be jumping on him, but yeah, I mean, this is only his 2nd game, I think, anyway, isn't it? So I know he'd be his 2nd game. Yeah, because he hurt himself in the Vegas game, was it the Vegas game he hurt himself, or the game after that? Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously, yeah, as we said, Trey Mooney's out, and Frizzell starts at prop in place of Trey Mooney as well.
Yeah, it's looking a very scary game for the Knights. And I would take that Fletcher Sharp with a grain of salt. Folks. So I wouldn't be hanging your hat on that one. Tyson Gamble is in the number 18 jersey. He actually he's probably about the 3rd best Knight player there was last week.
Yeah.
certainly did not stop trying the whole game. He actually impressed me more than he has any other game that I've ever seen him play. So,
So I guess the question is, if you've got, despite the fact that he's carrying that injury, do you hold Jacob Graz?
Well, I would have bought him for this game. I was really into him, but I'm going to now lay off and wait to see what sort of impact that injury has, or if he is even named. Because there are a few people named on the benches, including Bronson Jerry, who we did mention. He's on the reserves bench, so it is a possibility he can still come in for Carraz. But yeah,
They got Jonathan Sewer they got Jonathan Sewer there that can play the wing as well.
Yeah, and he's in the actual interchange. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. All right, way you go, Ross. Panthers and the Eels.
Yeah, for the Panthers, Jack Colger returns from concussion. Jack Cole drops out. Targo's also been named on the 6-man bench again. Still hasn't played a game yet. For the Eels, Brian Kelly takes over from Jordan Samarani, who's out for 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury. Obviously, Hopwood's out for the season with an ACL, and Luca Moretti comes onto the bench. Really good matchup with some really good matchups here, really, isn't there? Guys like Nathan Cleary, Milky Jenkins, and maybe if you're looking for a bit of a pod route at fullback, maybe one that Davey Blunder mentioned, Dylan Edwards, just flying under the radar a bit too, with about 2% ownership as well. Could be not one to have a look at if you're still trying to offload Ponga or whoever, possibly.
Man, we do it every year. We ignore Dylan Edwards for whatever reason, and I don't understand why. Maybe he just doesn't have the flashiness of a Reece Walsh, but his scores this year so far have been absolutely outstanding. So, and we did it last year. We did it the year before. We just sort of ignore him for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but he's certainly. I'd not knock anybody who managed to go Ponga up to Dylan Edwards. Go for your life.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly up against Casey McLean. That should be interesting. I reckon Brian Kelly loses his shit at one point and probably spits the dummy. He's good for a dummy spit here or there. And there's nothing really much more to say here, is there?
Yeah. No, not really. I think, look, I don't know how this one's going to go, whether Parramatta's going to turn up or not, I don't know. But as I said, I think there's going to be some points in this game for Supercoach, though.
Yes. There hasn't been too many points in Penrith games so far, only because they keep teams to such a they just defensively just ground them into the dirt. And I mean, I've seen a couple of reports and I've had a look at a couple of bits of analysis that they basically go so hard for those first 2 tackles. They don't give a shit if they give a penalty away. They don't care. Right? They'll just keep bashing you on that first tackle because they trust themselves that much that they're just going to keep doing it. I don't know what the league does about that, whether they have to get rid of the 6 agains, but bring back a penalty. But they're just going to, on that first tackle, they'll hold you down to 5 seconds, and which is most tackles are around about the 3-second mark, I think, is where referees like to see them. But they don't care.
Yeah, there seems to be a hell of a lot 6 agains this season to what there has been in the past, and it seems to be going up more and more every year, Brad.
Yeah, well, as I said, Penrith appeared and don't care. They don't care.
No.
They do not care because they trust themselves to that extent. Right? Obviously, Newcastle does not trust themselves to that extent, and neither do I think would Parramatta. Yeah. But defensively, they're the best team running around at the moment. It'll be very interesting, them, and I could almost say it's going to be a Penrith Bulldogs grand final right now. But, defensively, those 2 teams are pretty awesome. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of Supercoach points here for any Parramatta player. I don't know, mate.
I just meant for Penrith, there could be some big points for them, though.
Oh, there could certainly be for Penrith, but I don't like Parramatta's chances. They'll probably prove me wrong and bloody beat them, but who knows? The way I'm going this year.
All right, you want me to go over this one, Cowboys and Storm? For the Cowboys, Tom Chester's out suspended. Zach Labour comes into centre. Thomas McHaley comes onto the bench as well as Harrison Edwards. And for the Storm, Trent Liero's back in the starting side after returning last week from suspension. Kamika goes back to the bench. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward there, Brad, I think.
Yeah, it is. There's a few popular trade-ins lurking around. If you haven't got Logo, you haven't missed the boat. Get in on him now, though. Would be highly recommended. Big Stefano Ukumanu. He's certainly in the top 10. I think he might have been top 5 of the most traded in this week. It's sort of with Tui Kamika going back to the bench, that means that there's 2 dedicated middles now on their bench, Ross.
Yeah.
Does that put any worry into Stefano's time, you think?
I don't know, because Cooper Clark will play that sort of role too. They've got Kamika and they've got Moali as well, but then you've got Hetherington. So my guess is that they'll probably use Wishart, Clark, Kamika and Hetherington, but I'm not too sure. But I still think you'll still get about the 60-minute mark out of Stefano, what he's been putting out pretty much for the season so far. So I don't know, I'd be too concerned about that, to be honest with you.
Okay. It is a very middle-heavy bench. That's all I was really pointing out there. And, of course, as you said, Jack Labour in for Tommy Chester.
Yeah.
If Labour goes well, you reckon that's Chester's gone?
I hope not, because I've still got him and he's still got cash to be made. So I'm hoping not, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, he was going pretty well before that, so we'll just have to see what they decide to do. I mean, obviously this wouldn't have been an ideal matchup for Chester anyway, so maybe it's not a bad thing that he misses this game, Brad, as long as he comes back into that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine he would have got a decent score in this game anyway, to be honest with you.
Scott Drinkwater coming off the back of a big score last week. You won't be selling him this week, but good luck to you, because Melbourne do a pretty good job on fullbacks. The other one
that's very popular this round as well, which we're looking at the trade in and trade outs quickly after last game. But Jackson Purdue's pretty popular this week too, which I know he's got a low break even of about 4, but I don't know if I'd be trading him in this week against the Storm.
I'd probably bet my bottom dollar that's people trading out probably Cody Walker.
Probably, yeah, but still, I don't know. Yeah.
So if you're like me, this week I have to, if I leave it the way it is, have to pay Jonah Pezzett.
Yeah.
I have to. Or I could burn another trade, which I can do, and I could easily move Purdue up into that's beautiful because he's a dual. You can move him up into the 5'8".
Yeah.
Bring in another. I can bring in Macassini. See, I don't own Macassini. I could do that this week. Easy.
Yeah. We actually forgot to speak about Macassini. He should be on everyone's list, mate. Everyone should be getting on him as well.
Yeah, it's just that defense, but yeah, he's holding his spot. So
he's getting about 60 points in base. So, well, mind you, though, what did he get 65 last week with a try? But it wasn't off a kick. It was off a kick, so he didn't get a line break or anything. But still, I don't mind that though. To be honest with you, I still think he's a good option to bring in for sure. It all depends on if you've got people to sell in your centre wing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people are going to be pretty stuck there with Faimanu, Sedu too, and guys like that, Chester. So it might be hard for people to actually bring him in.
Yeah. Right. This is the Sunday game, 4:00 game, second last game. Raiders versus the Sharks. Wow, I'm actually really excited on this game. This is probably the second most favourite game this week coming up to be watched. In the back line for the Raiders, it all looks pretty stock standard. There's no changes there. And even in the front line, Noah Martin up in the forwards retains his position at the 12, with Zach Hosking still lurking on the interchange bench.
The only change there for them is Papali's out suspended, so Smithy's a starting prop.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
And Simi Suagi, who is somehow keeping that centre spot. I reckon I ignored him thinking that he was just a flash in the pan. Do you reckon he was a buy? You reckon you could trust him now to be there?
I don't know, because Ricky came out and said in a presser the other day that he reckons he said Tomoko will come back into that team at some stage, but it's a matter of when, though. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Sasagi seems to be doing a pretty good job, but I don't know if I could be jumping on getting a bit expensive in price now for me.
For the Cronulla team, the back line is exactly the same as what it has been. There's absolutely no change there. In the forwards, there's also
where the hell is Brendan Iakura?
Well, I was about to say in the forwards,
You got Wilton starting on his edge.
Yeah, Billy Burns has moved on to his edge with Teague Wilton getting the number 12. So I don't know what's happened. There must be an injury because you wouldn't leave.
It doesn't say he's injured on here. It just says that Teague Wilton moves from the bench to starting side in place of Britton Okora. Surely he hasn't been dropped.
No, you wouldn't drop him. Surely, would you? Yes, I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
That one certainly caught me unawares, but
I'm going to have a look at that because I've got him in a couple more drafts, so I need to suss that one out. I'll tell you what, there's not just going to be carnage in Classic. There's going to be carnage in draft this week as well with all these players out.
All right.
Just before you move on there, who was I going to bring up? I think I was going to bring up who was it? I think it was Nico. What do you reckon is Nico as a buy this week if you're looking to offload Sam Walker, or do you think it's probably not a good matchup for him?
I don't know what this game's going to bring. I actually don't. Yeah. Canberra aren't the defensive powerhouse that Penrith or the Bulldogs are, but Canberra's still very hard to beat. So
yeah.
And they're looking every minute like they're going to be. They'll be top 4 material, but which Cronulla team turns up, I don't know. If the right Cronulla team turns up, then they'll beat Canberra.
Because they didn't look good at home last week against the Dolphins, that's for sure. They were absolutely terrible.
No, absolutely.
Oh, there you go. Mark Munro's just posted that he's got a broken nose, according to the Sharks website in Nakora. That's why he's out.
All right, thanks for that, Mark.
Posted it up now. Then there you go.
There now, thanks for that. And Biggest has said poor D last week. I'm assuming you're meaning.
I guess he's probably talking about the Sharks, I reckon.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
To that. All right, and thank you for that, Mark. I've got one there from Sean too. We'll discuss yours in a minute. Sean, we've got a rather long question there from you. All right, shall we go to this last one?
Oh, the Spoon Bowl. Here we go. Is this the Lachlan? This can be. Is it the Spoon Bowl or is it the Lachlan Ilias Cup? You can take your pick, whatever you want to make of it as you want.
And good day to Mikey out there. He's been waiting in the chat room. I can see him there waiting, fingers drumming on the desk, waiting for us to talk about his beloved Dragons. So here we go.
Yeah. All right, so Titans versus the Dragons. For the Titans, no changes for them. So run out the same team. And then for the Dragons, a few changes for them. Toby Couchman's out with concussion protocols. Blake Laurie will start at prop. Hamish Stewart goes to lock. Ryan Couchman's been referred directly to the judiciary and has not been named. Adam Sele, Jacob Halaganu, and Pacifici Tonga are the new faces on the bench for the Dragons. Again, just carnage, as we said, Brad, with, both Couchman brothers out in this one as well. Wow. It's a big week, isn't it, really? Honestly, it's just so much carnage.
I tell you what, that I'm not sure who should win this, but surely the Titans. That front row is just horrible. Emre Gula as a starter with Blake Laurie as his partner. Oh my God!
I'll give Emre Gula a bit of credit. That game against Parramatta last week, he actually looked pretty good. He had some decent runs, but I certainly don't rate Blake Laurie, that's for sure. But it's a bit decimated. But those edges are good there for the Dragons with Leilu and Sewer both in good form as well. Hopefully our man Arama Hau can maybe finally get a try because 63 last week in base, which is handy. But we're going to need all the points we can get out of these guys with all the big props missing this round.
I think it's a Ramaho. A Rama,
Yeah.
no. Hey,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Something like that he likes to be called. But yeah, that should be an entertaining match. I think it could be a few tries in this one. This could be a good Supercoach game, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So that is all our teams for the week. I'm just getting this here. And we'll get that off the screen.
You got some questions to go through before we both go through the trading and trade outs?
Well, I did have a few there. There's a few there. There's certainly
let's get into them.
Shauno. G'day, Shauno. Only Deadwood for me is Cody Walker, but he can wait to go next week. To forward or not to forward is the question. Love his work rate, but worried about Barnett eating minutes now with Rika and
Harrell in second row forward looking solid now too.
So he's saying, Reka Halasima and I think that's what he means there. So, yeah, I guess he's got worries about Barnett, but we did speak about that just a little while ago that if there's any worry with forward, it's whether it's with those middles lurking around on the interchange bench, if that's going to continue. Certainly, if they do get ahead in this game against the Tigers, I was the coach, I would be bringing forward off with his current work rate that he has been through lately. If I had an opportunity to give someone a rest, it would probably be him.
Yeah.
Him or Fisher Harris but I hope that answers that. I'm not really sure if we're
I don't know whether they're going to just ease Barnett back in with his minutes or not. I'm not too sure what they're going to do, but yeah, look, we spoke about Ford yesterday. I think, he's a good option, but it depends on who you're selling to get him in. That's the thing.
Yeah, 100%. Game of the week is from Mike. He says the game of the week is the Bellinger Magpies versus the Army Thunder at the Graveyard in Bellingen. Yeah, good on you. A bit of a shout out to Country Rugby League people. And Flano called him. Look out for a late change. Magic in the front row. No. That's his nickname, by the way, Magic McGaw. You are not going.
He'd probably have more effect than what Blake Laurie would have, though.
You got Blake Laurie, mate. What are you worried about? You shouldn't be worried there, Magic. You'll be fine. It'll be you'll have a great time. That's about it for those questions, really. It's quite a few comments and that, but no straight out questions. If you got any late questions, do throw them in there. We'll have a quick look at the most traded in, most traded out. I'll let you start there, Ross.
No, we'll go to the outs first. So number one, we've got Trey Mooney. I don't know how I feel about this. We spoke about this yesterday, Brad. He's only up one game, despite the fact that, he probably might not make much cash, given he's got to be here for about 50. But I just think with his PPM, played 44 minutes last week with the sin bin. So if he's playing about 54 minutes with his PPM, but I'm guessing obviously a lot of people are going to be going to Jackson Ford. Number two, Hopgood, get rid of him. He's got to go. He's out for the season. Makes sense. Cody Walker's at number three. I don't mind that, depending on who you're selling him to. Reed Marnie at number four. Well, as long as you're probably going Harry Grant or someone like that, then yes. Sam Walker's at number five, Brad. Thoughts on him? He's already lost 70K and plays Manly this week. Do you think he's a hold or do you think he is a sell?
Well, it's very hard to know. It depends upon your team makeup. If you've got no other problems, then you could probably sell him. It's definite that DC is having a negative impact upon his Supercoach scoring. I think it might have a positive impact on him, but as he's playing, but the Supercoach-wise, he probably isn't a go. So at some stage, you're going to have to sell him. So while he's still worth 614K, why not sell him now?
Yeah. Number six is Toby Couchman, which is an interesting one, Brad, because, yes, he's out this week with the HIA. However, given that Ryan's probably going to be out for at least 4 weeks, I'll be nearly tempted to hold. Like, I know we're going to – there's a lot of people, like including myself, that, not having, they might not have Couchman, they might have him in his front row, they might have Mooney, they might also have Payne Haas. But I just think you maybe just look at biting the bullet and just taking the points from one of your other front rowers rather than making a trade that you probably don't need to, because I think Toby Couchman's a good option. He should go back to playing decent minutes when he comes back next week with, obviously, as we said, with Ryan Couchman out.
Look, I've heard of people that are on their third boost this week. It's just crazy stuff,
That's
man.
crazy.
You're going to run out of trades. If you keep burning trades you're going to have this all season where players are out for HIA for 1 week, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to have to learn occasionally to be patient, super coaches, and just save your trade. Yeah. You've got to save them every now and again and just go, okay, I can hold this fella for 1 week, But I understand this week is a decimated week with Haas now out. But yeah, Flegler, who is the next one, I can understand because he's just not really getting what was expected of him in the first place. Ryan Couchman is at number 9. I don't understand this one, Ross. He should be number 1.
I guess people are probably holding him to wait and see how many weeks he gets first, maybe, Brad. Yeah. But I think either way, I think given the circumstances and the injury, I think he's going to get at least 4 weeks. I'm going to say he's going to get close to 6. So you probably see him high up in the trade out by then. But then maybe people are thinking, oh, we'll hang on to him because he's still got cash to make. But what's the point in hanging on to a player that's not going to play for like 6 weeks?
Yeah,
you may as well get rid of him and maybe go to a Joe Chan if you don't have him or somebody else.
No, no. But no, I'd expect to see him come up. And Mitchell Moses, what do you think about this coming in at number 10? He's only 500 odd thousand. Who are you trading him to?
I'd say they're probably going to Tanner Boyd or to hopefully to Cleary, would be my guess.
I just don't know
how I feel with the. I just don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
No, go on. You say what you're going to say. It's fine.
I was just going to say he's down to 527,000. He's not really worth that much anymore.
Yeah.
And the Eels draw is going to start to open up soon. The hard bit's nearly over. But
he hasn't got a high break even. It's only 54, so it's not like he's going to lose you a shitload of cash either. I mean, I know that they've got Penrith, and I get that, but goal kicking. Surely, if they start scoring some points and he's getting the goal kicking, he might be okay. But look, I kind of get in the way, but I don't think it's one of those trades that you have to do, though.
Yep. All right. The traded in. Way you go.
Well, Joe Chan tops the list again, and that is at number 1, even though he's already just gone up 134K. Got Jackson Ford at number 2. We've got Milko Jenkins at number 3. Tanner Boyd, who we spoke about already, at number 4. Just quickly on Thomas Jenkins. I was having a look at potentially bringing him in. I'm not going to do it because I've just decided not to, but I was actually looking at potential maybe trading Trell out just because they've got to buy this week, but then they go into a really tough run. They've got the Dogs, and I think they've got Raiders and a couple other tough games in there. My only concern with Jenkins is, he's scoring a lot of tries, but can he keep going? If you look at his score on the weekend, he got four tries, but he only got 130 points. It doesn't seem like much, does it? Really does it when you score 4 tries? Mm. If you score a try and you get a line break with it, that's like nearly 30 points, right? I don't think they were all, obviously, including a line break, but say they were, that's 120 points. So that tells me his base isn't great. He's very attack reliant with his attacking stats. So I don't know. It really depends on who you're selling to get him in. But as I said, I thought about it, but I pulled my plug on that one. So yeah.
I sort of agree with you there. I'm just I at that price too. If you got on him prior to this week, congratulations. You did a wonderful job. You saw things that some of us didn't see. But that was when he was 500, late 500,000. Now he's knocking on the door of 700,000, about 3% off it. So, that's a lot to pay.
Reece Walsh is at number 5. I'm really keen on this. He's one trade that I'm making this week. I just really love that draw that they've got coming up. I'm just hoping that they can get their shit together. they obviously looked a lot better in that second half against Melbourne. But tell you what, with that draw they've come up, there could be some serious points there for him as well.
Yeah.
Number 6 is our man Arama Howell, who we just spoke about. Now, if you've got Thomas Flegler, I love the trade of Flegler out to him. I just think he's got cash to be made. I think I'd much rather go to him than go, say, Flegler up to Jackson Ford, which is going to cost you like $300K anyway, to be honest. Even, if you had to get a front rower, like I still think he's a great option. I mean, he's plugging out half-decent scores, 50s and 60s, without any real attacking stats. So I really like him as a trade-in, to be honest with you, and he's kind of flown under the radar a bit. I'm glad that we started him, Brad. Made 80K last week, and there's more cash there to be made with him.
No, I'm very happy I started with him. If he holds his position, which it looks like the coach likes him and he is going to hold his position, we know the coach said loves 80-minute edges. And so that's basically what he's going to play. He doesn't have a huge break even, but if he just keeps doing 50 or 60 in 5 weeks' time, he's going to make you, even if you buy him now, he'll make you 200,000. For you and me that were on him before, it's going to make us about 300,000, but that's okay. You missed 1 week. Get on him now. If you think he's going to, and that duel too, his positional duel, front row, that's real handy, man. Real handy. For a week.
Number 7's Nathan Cleary. Love the trade in for him as well. I think it's a good trade. I'd much rather pay the extra 100K for him than probably get Tanner Boyd, to be honest with you. Especially with the news that Metcalf's in. I don't know if that's going to take a bit of points off him. I'm not too sure if that helps him or not. Number 8's your man, Stefano. Brad, talk to me about Stefano.
Well, he's just been poddling along very nicely. Thank you very much. His PPM is around about 1.2. Which again I'd like. It's all been base so far. Virtually no. There hasn't been much. There's been an occasional offload, but no attacking stats per se. So far, he's got 65, 81, and 71 are his 3 scores he's got for an average of 73. So, man, if he could get me 70 on a week like this week, I'd be more than happy. I'd be ecstatic.
Playing against the Cowboys, he might play against the Cowboys. He might even jag a try. Who knows?
And he still is only just over 500,000, about 540 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, 557. Yeah.
So that's still reasonably cheap. He's still got an extra. If you think he can keep doing 70, he's still got an extra 150 left in him to go with price rises. So you're not going to lose money, in other words.
Yeah. Number 9, we already spoke about, it's Jackson Purdue. I guess a lot of people are going from Cody Walker up to him. It's about 150K difference, but I think, Cody's going to lose money the next game he plays, so I actually don't mind it. But again, tough matchup against Melbourne, so I'm not sure how well he goes in this game. And then number 10, Brad, talk to me about Tommy Turbo.
Well, Tommy's the king. I mean, he owns some of the highest scores ever. In fact, he does own the highest score ever in Supercoach. What's there to talk about? I mean, but it's a hard matchup. But it is Tommy. It is at Brookvale Oval. So, man, just his credibility and his work ethic. What's he worth?
692. Yeah,
692. So yeah, look, he's equivalent at least of. The only thing is he doesn't kick goals. If he kicked goals, man, how good would that be?
Oh, if he kicked goals, everyone would be on him, wouldn't they? Surely. I'm actually surprised he's not higher up on the list, but I guess most people would have sold Ponga last week. But, yeah, I'm kind of hoping he doesn't go too big this week because I'm actually looking to move on Kinney potentially next week too. I'm obviously not going to sell him this week because he's playing the Dragons, right? You can't sell Kinney this week, but if he doesn't start to score decent points, I mean, it's just weird because he had an absolute shocker this game and still got 69. He was terrible. Yeah. I don't even know where the points come from. I looked at one stage and he was on 20. Next minute I checked, he was on 60. I'm like, where the hell did these points come from? It's like, yeah. So I guess there was a couple of players like that on the weekend. Val probably had his worst game in a long time and he got 80 points as well. So
and Nico does it every week. You go, well, how did Nico get to those points?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in a flog, if team gets flogged and he gets 81 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did
But
you?
you know, I'm pretty keen on Turbo. But the other one that I'm waiting for to drop in price, whose draw opens up really nicely after their bye, is Tedesco too, because the Roosters after their bye next week have got a really really good draw. So he's one that I'm definitely looking at getting at one stage. Potentially trade out Kinney to him, I think.
Yeah. Now going back to a few questions. Now we've done those traded in, traded outs. Thanks. Mike says he's fitter than Blake Laurie. I
Yeah.
don't know, Mike. I don't know. Shawnee says Mooney as a whole, boys. You can go him to forward. Was thinking Stewart to Chan, but now my boy Routsman looks.
Yeah, interesting one. I know he's not tuned in, but Chris, who was on the pod last night asking a few questions, was asking what I thought of Hamish Stewart as a buy. I said I don't think I could buy him, but I certainly wouldn't be selling him. I think there's some good minutes there with the Couchman brothers out. Blake Laurie won't play decent minutes, obviously, as well. Emre Gula, yeah, he might play a bit extra with these guys out, but I think Stewart's a good play this week. Starting at lock, he should probably get about 50 minutes, 50, 60 minutes with the Couchman brothers out. So if you've got Hamish Stewart, I'd be tempted to play him. And if you're in drafts and you're looking for a front rower, which most of us probably are, I think have a look at your waivers and see if Hamish Stewart's available or not in your drafts.
I like Stewart. Without Rouchy there, he's certainly going to have to get through a bit of work. And with that front row, the way it looks, again, another reason why he's going to have to get through a bit of work. So I'd be definitely holding Hamish Stewart there. And as for Mooney, I'll leave that. Like I've had many discussions. Some people agree with me. Some people violently disagree with me and say that Mooney is an absolute sell. But yeah,
I could justify trading out Trey Mooney if you were going to go down to Chan. If it's the only way to get Chan, because Chan's going to make a shitload of cash still, right? I think he's projected to make another 100K nearly this week. If you've got the jewels to do it, I don't mind the trade of Mooney to Stewart, especially to Stewart to Mooney to Chan, sorry, I should say. I actually don't mind it, to be honest with you. But again, it depends on where you've got Mooney in your team, because a lot of people are going to be shot in that front row position too. So if you trade out Mooney, you probably could leave yourself short if he's up in your front row and you can't move anyone up. Then you might sell yourself short on, like I said. I mean, I think a lot of us are going to struggle in front row this week. I've got to play Flegler and Aroma Howe. So it's not a great front row for me this week.
Well, at least I've got Stefano, so I'll see.
Yeah.
And biggest stickers, he says, burn, baby, burn. I'm assuming that means his trades. He's commenting on my comment about people saving trades. We know biggest loves to boost and loves to trade.
I'd love to know. I want to know how many boosts he's already used. I reckon he's used more than one.
Come on, biggest. Let us know how many boosts have you burnt through already. All right. So, anything else there today, Rossco?
No, that's it. Don't forget the overall code's still open. Closes at the end at round 5. So we've got this week to go, and that's pretty much it. We've got the tipping comp still running. The code for that is up on the page, as well as the Brisbane Broncos League that's up on the page. That's still running too. That'll also close round 5 as well.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, that sounds like that's about it. Dave's not going to tell me how many boosts he's got left.
No, it's a secret.
He's too scared to. But everybody, race trade your ass off. Have a great week. The footy's going to be great. Kicks off with the Manly game on Thursday night. And until then, have a good rest of the week.
Stay safe,